Right now, we're going to take a few minutes and welcome in Mike DeCicco. He's the head coach for the baseball team at Absegami High School. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Sully. How's it going?
What's happening, man? Also known as Chico.
Yeah, Chico, whatever you want to call it.
I guess everybody in your family is known as that, right?
Exactly.
So take me through this season. Your first as head coach. You were an assistant there for a while at Absegami, former player at Mainland, and took the reins from Brian Wastell. Not an easy task. I mean, Brian had a great career there before he's now moved on to other ventures, I guess you might say.
Yes.
Gotten out of the game a little bit. He's working his way up the ladder.
It's been a blast. Brian did an incredible job, I think, of preparing me over these last 3 years before I officially took the job. And, believe me, I still go to his classroom every day. We talk baseball, talk shop. So he's been a major mentor for me, and I don't think there's any way the team would be having the success we're having if it wasn't for what Brian not only did for myself, but also for the program over 20 years.
Now, was that sort of a side deal? Like, hey, Coach, if you're going to step down, make sure you leave me with a team with 12 seniors.
Well, it's funny. Brian talks a lot about his first season. We would talk about it, and I forget they beat. It might have been like Bridgeton, the first game of the season, in like 15 innings, like 14-13. And then I think his first year they lost every game after that.
Wow.
So I think he really wanted me to have a good group, and I'm very lucky that he did lead me this group as well. I was this senior group's freshman coach, so I've known them since they were 14, 15 years old. I even coached against them when I was coaching for A-Shore, and like the regionals and all that. So I've known these kids for a while, and I think that this season has kind of been a testament to our relationship a little bit.
I remember talking to Sam Daggers last summer during the ACBL, and he was like, hey, we're going to have a great year next year. We got a lot of guys that are really motivated to have a good year. They've kind of, the last couple of years, they've had talent and really maybe haven't lived up to maybe what their expectations were. And I think they were really motivated to come in this year and say, hey, we're going to be one of those top teams in the Cal, even if nobody else thinks we are.
Absolutely. It's such a good group of kids, and Sam's the one that you hear about the most, but, kids like Billy Wheatley, Shane Nanick, Kevin Snyder, Sammy Muniz, Adrian Ramos, Ray Lewis. I mean, these are all senior guys for us that, have contributed greatly, in every game this season. And, they're kids that, like I said, I've known them for a while, and, they're hard workers, and they really play the game the right way. And that's one thing that, we've stressed to them over the years is just as long as you're playing for each other and you're playing for, the name on the front, not the back, typically good things happen in the game of baseball. So, I think this season's been a testament to that. We really, we tried early on, my assistant coaches and I, even when they were younger, just to try to beat that selfish, because baseball at the end of the day is an individual game. So, of course you want to succeed for yourself, but at the end of the day, if you have that mindset, like, let me do it for my guys, let me do it for my brothers, I feel like it ends up working out more often than not.
Now, you guys are 11-4 overall, 7-1 in the Cal National, and what's it like being in first place on top of teams like Mainland, Ocean City? I know you have a good relationship with those guys at Mainland, and must be nice. At least for the moment, you can kind of give Billy Kern a little bit of a ribbing, but that might not last long as well as they're doing this year too. I think they're 6-1. So
yeah, at the end of the day, we're putting ourselves in a position to compete for it. Really next week we have Spirit and Lower Cape May. And then that following week is a really tough week for us. We have Ocean City, Creek, and Mainland all right before the playoffs. So, at the end of the day, what I'm really stressing our guys, we're 11-4 at the cut. Hopefully we can get a home playoff game in Group 3. And then at the end of the day, we put ourselves in a position to compete for a division, and that's a testament to them and their hard work and their focus throughout the season.
Talking with Mike DeCicco, Absegami baseball coach. The Braves are in first place in the Cal National, 11-4 overall, 7-1 in the conference. And, Coach, talk about your pitching staff a little bit. I think they've kind of gotten overlooked, and, you can't go 11-4 without some great pitching along the way. Everybody knows about Sam Daggers and what a talent he is. He's going to Wagner. Great hitter, great pitcher as well. But there's a lot of other guys that have been contributing. I mean, that's a lot of innings when you're talking about 15 games times 7 innings.
Oh, believe me, with the pitch counts, you need a lot of arms. But I will say, going into this season, we kind of made a decision to, make sure that we threw Sam against every tough team, every week, because we wanted to kind of go after it. We didn't want to, not throw him against maybe the better teams and put our guys in tougher situations. So Sam's done a fantastic job kind of being our workhorse, being our, once a week, 110 pitch guy. And he's tough and he's battling, and we're getting him ready for, the playoffs because, at the end of the day, he's going to be our guy that first game. But then from there, we have a bunch of guys that have really stepped up. Early in the season, it started with Jesse Donlan. He's a 6'2" junior lefty. It was his first time pitching varsity down in Myrtle Beach. He threw a complete game shutout, 85 pitches. His first start, threw a one-hitter against Middle in 5. His second start, he threw a no-hitter against Lower Cape May in 5. And then he threw on a Wednesday, and that following Monday, I saw him in the trainer's office. I'm like, oh, no. And he's having some elbow issues, so I don't know if we'll get him back this year. But again, it's a next man up mentality for us. Adrian Ramos has been just our kind of unsung guy for the last 3 years. He's a guy that, it's funny, he almost doesn't want to warm up sometimes. He'd rather me just take him out of left field, put him on the mound. The other day, he threw 6 1/3 in relief, on 99 pitches. And like I said, no warm-up. He just came in, threw strikes, and that's just what he does. Rudy Kreutzer is another senior who's really stepped up for us. It was, it's funny, when you think about it, but in the fall we were kind of talking about whether Rudy was going to play or not. He's a fantastic drummer. He's going to school to study music. And we were just talking like, hey, Rudy, why don't you come out? It's your senior year. You've been with us for 4 years. He's got good velocity. He's left-handed. And he was always fastball curveball. And maybe it's my fault, but last year he would always be like, Coach, I have a cutter. Coach, I have a cutter. And I'm like, let's just go fastball curveball for now. And, this year when we were down in Myrtle Beach, actually, that all those games are broadcasted, and you can watch them. And after one of the games that he threw, me and my assistant coaches were watching, and we're like, wow, what is that pitch that's running from, it looks like it's going to be way outside to a righty, and then it's almost hitting them in their back foot. And he's like, oh, that's the cutter. I'm like, hey, listen. Yeah, and that's almost, for him, become more of his number one pitch. We throw that more consistently than even the fastball. So Rudy's really stepped up. Gabe Gilger's coming off Tommy John from last summer. He's working his way back. Billy Hoff's 4-0. He's a junior. It's his first time pitching varsity. So we definitely have some guys right now that are tough, and they're doing the job, and that's the biggest thing.
Coach, what's the biggest challenge now? You guys are feeling good about yourselves. You have a great record so far, but you haven't won anything yet. So is that kind of the message to these guys? Like, hey, there's 4 more weeks of hard work to go.
Oh, absolutely. The last 2 years, we've actually finished second in the Cal National to Ocean City. In the 3 years that I've been here, this group, the senior group's freshman year, we lost to Ocean City in the playoffs. We were a 16 seed. They were a 1 seed. The following year, we were the 14 seed. We went up to West Deptford. We were up 2 in the 7th, and kind of just, they wheels fell off a little bit, and they ended up winning in extras. And then last year, we were the home team. We were the 7th seed against Seneca, and it was kind of funny, I guess. But when we're looking at the NJ.com, Group 3 predictions, it's like, oh, who's predicted to win the tournament? Seneca. So Seneca beat us. Nick Decker hit 2 home runs. He ended up getting drafted by Sox in, I think, the second round of MLB draft. And then they beat Ocean City and Mainland before winning Group 3. So, it's unfinished business for us right now. We're not, one thing we try to stress as a coaching staff, don't get hot, don't get too low. At the end of the day, it's still, hopefully 3, 4, 5 weeks left of the season for us. And there's still a lot of big games coming up, so we just got to be prepared for them.
Talking with Coach Mike DeCicco from Absegami Baseball, and Coach, before we let you go, what's the top item at Chico and Sons in Northfield and Atlantic City? Nick Costco wants to know what he should order next time he comes in for lunch.
The cheesesteak's our biggest seller. That's kind of our bread and butter. But I don't know. It depends. Our tuna is very good. I'm a big Chico's cutlet guy. It's chicken cutlet, broccoli rabe, sharp provolone on a seeded roll. But yeah, I don't know. The Boardwalk Empire is good. Tell Nick he can check it out.
Nick might be stopping by tomorrow or today before the Blackjacks game.
Oh yeah, actually my brother's going. He's all excited. He's taking his boys, so it's really great for the city, great for the area. So
Mike, man, you're kind of living the dream right now. I mean, you got a great life going on. You're recently married. You got Chico and Sons opening a new location in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
So you're a big part of that. Your baseball team's winning. Man, it's everybody wants to be Mike DeCicco right now.
Hey, listen, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. My wife deals with it the most. I'm living in right now 3 worlds. Between the business, school, and coaching. But at the end of the day, you can't beat it. I mean, being able to be with these guys every day, whether it's school or even just at practice and the games. I mean, it's honestly my favorite part of the day. So. We're working. I got a great group of kids, so I'm very lucky.
How do you handle that? I mean, you're teaching all day, you're coaching all afternoon, you're a partner in a business. You got a new wife. I mean, she's gonna, she needs some attention. A night out here or two.
I got the puppy. The puppy needs some attention too now. But at the end of the day, it's funny. A lot of the kids will be talking to me about, hey, we got this game on this Thursday, and I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to focus on the day. Let's get through the day. And then that's my mentality. I feel like if you do what you need to do from a day-to-day standpoint, you'll get those results in the long run. It's a grind, it's a process, but as long as you're focused in on the moment and do the best that you can in it, I do feel like good things happen from there.
We've got to let you go, Coach. We're up against the break, but appreciate you taking a few minutes. Congratulations on everything you've done so far, and good luck in the future. We'll be checking up on you, and it's like you said, it's going to be a grind the next couple of weeks, and we'll find out shortly who the top dogs are in the Cal National. So get to work. A lot of work to be done in the next 2 weeks.
Thanks, Sully. I appreciate it. Have fun at the game tomorrow.
You got it, man. Have a good weekend, bud.